absolutely marvelous. Hello everybody, my name is Goodboy, and welcome to a video on the next level of cheating in Dota, why it affects you, and maybe what you can do about it. So I've kind of covered this issue before, but it would appear to be frequent. And what's really interesting is actually it's not so much frequent at lower skill brackets, it's frequent in higher skill brackets. And this is the use of scripts. So what's very interesting about Dota is you see a lot of cheating that is kind of technically legal, but not. So you got boosters, for example. So a booster playing in 6k at 2k and ranking somebody up technically isn't cheating, but it kind of is. Well, scripts, again, I think they are cheating, but you could kind of see why people would say they're not cheating. So scripting is a simple automatic response that it does in order to, in theory, help you play the game a little bit better. Some scripts are worse than others. So, for example, there are scripts that help you micro-control your, heroes. So, for example, let's say you're playing Meepo and you don't actually want to learn how to play Meepo properly. You can just create a script which allows you to control your Meepos meaningfully and attack with them in a quite well-coordinated manner, not for your skill level. Again, the whole laziness. But the one that is particularly annoying, to say the least, is the autocast script. So this is where you've got a sheep stick or Yule scepter or whatever, and this is where somebody comes close to you from any direction or whatever, it just automatically triggers it without blinking, without any kind of requiring command or response. So i.e., it will trigger it far faster than any human being can hit a key in the time to do it. And there are some very, very fast, very observant pro players who are really, really fast, scary fast. But even they can't match with this. And I guess at like slightly higher levels, the gap becomes a little bit smaller. But nonetheless, this is these are impossibly fast responses that no human being, at least, can do. And just I'm going to give you a couple of examples. This first one is from just a casual invoker game, and you'll notice that as he approaches his target, he then gets disabled. But the second one's a lot funnier because it was streamed in front of 15k viewers, courtesy of Admiral Bulldog, and well, yeah. So there you go. It's unfair and it's cheating. And the thing is, scripts are very interesting in the sense that you can have a quick look at them and be like, not sure if this guy's cheating or if he's just really good at Dota. And sometimes there is that fine line. But if somebody can always get their Yule scepter or sheepstick off with you more or less instantaneously, then they are indeed scripting, and Valve doesn't look very kindly on this. However, I do think it's kind of one of those ones where, again, Valve does ban people. Valve does take action and does respond to reports. But if I'm honest, I feel like the report system is very limited in the sense that you can ban, someone's intentionally feeding, that's your own teammate. Communication, that's teammates or the enemy. Or they're abusing their abilities. So, for example, like a tiny tossing you into the enemy. If I'm honest, there's a lot of other reasons why you should be able to report someone. Boosting, as mentioned in one of my previous videos, is one of them. And the other one is just outright cheating. And so this is where they're using scripts or hacks or playing insanely and unnaturally well, or for example they have a pre-made team, or whatever. But I really do think, in terms of like the report options, cheating / boosting, or maybe even have them as separate options, should definitely be a thing. And of course you can sort of look at why. And so, for example, when people are using scripts or whatever, or playing incredibly well, so much so that it's ridiculous, I personally feel that there should be a report button for that too. Like I say, the report system's kind of limited, kind of weak in the way that it is right now anyway. But that's scripting. That's scripting in action. So here's some advice in terms of how to deal with this. Funnily enough, this is actually more prevalent in higher skill brackets than lower skill brackets, mainly because at higher skill brackets they actually know how to do it. But it happens across all skill brackets, so I'm not saying it's exclusive to that. But it is a great way of getting you out of a tight spot. Most times, and it obviously will improve your win rate significantly, but it is cheating, and it means you still suck at the game, and you just have an unfair advantage over everybody else. So, ways to deal with it. Obviously, the most important thing is make sure you check your replays. Check your replays and just look at the timing it takes for it to cast. It's pretty easy to do that. And you can tell if it's an instantaneous as soon as you're near them, and you'll have a good idea. You'll be able to tell if someone's doing it. You can kind of tell. But if you have a suspicion, check the replay, check it from that player's perspective, and then you can see. And if it happens literally in a split second, like as soon as they come near, boom, it uses, and they're facing the other way, and their mouse is being used, other elsewhere not being used. I mean, you can obviously use commands on your keyboard, but they're facing a different direction, they're clicking in a different direction, moving into a different direction, and you're coming from behind and they instantly use it, they're definitely scripting. So what you can do, unfortunately for that one, is because it's going to be the enemy, the only way you can report them, and this is why the system is broken, is with communication abuse. And that's very, very difficult to actually report a player on, because actually you're reporting somebody who isn't probably using communication abuse. So what you have to do is you click communication abuse, get your teammates to do the same thing, and then in the comments and the feedback, you can put this person is scripting and needs to be banned. And it's really quite that simple. It's that straightforward. I think also it kind of highlights one of the big issues with Dota, an attitude that certain players have, which I've never really understood, because it's sort of like what's the point? But I mentioned in one of my previous videos about a Pyrrhus victory. And so, I mentioned about me doing YouTube, but if I sell myself out too much to the wrong people doing the wrong stuff that is unethical, I'm hurting myself. And it's an empty victory, and it's kind of a waste of time, and it's not worth doing it, basically. And it's kind of like that in Dota when it comes to scripting or cheating or boosting. It's like, well, what's the point? Okay, you're not really any better than anybody else. And in fact, if anything, you're worse than everybody else, because nobody else is, or other people aren't cheating. And you've not improved in skill at all. You're just hacking the system and then taking advantage over other players. Now, some people argue, I'm leveling the playing field because other people are cheating, other people are scripting, other people blah 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 blah. And I hear what you're saying, but just because other people, as to draw an analogy, just because other people are serial killers doesn't mean you should be one. It's that kind of logic. And so my kind of take on it is that if other people are cheating, that just means we need a really effective reporting system to shut down other cheaters. That's not a free rein or justification to join in, as it were. So that's kind of the lay of the land there. It is, like I say, I think Valve does need to improve its report system. That's totally true. But I think people need to step back and have a look at themselves and go, hold on, is it worth it? Fake MMR, fake skill, fake perception from people who, to be honest, don't really care what your MMR is when it comes down to it. Your friends don't really care what your MMR is. Maybe they'll make fun of you for it. Some of your friends make fun of you for it. But let's face facts, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't make you any less or more of a human being. But if you're getting it unfairly, you may as well not have it at all. Like, just give up. give up now. And so, you know, people need to move on with this obsession with MMR and perceived skill. Alright? Dota is a great game, but it's not the be-all and end-all. You're not going to get to pro like this. And to be honest, with all the account boosting and whatever, you bragging about what your new MMR isn't really going to impress everybody, because they'll probably just think you're boosting anyway. You know? It's much, much better to just genuinely get better at Dota. And links below, check them out to help with that. Than it is just to cheat your way there and then find that you've just wasted your time. And hopefully been banned by Valve as well. So, you know, that's kind of that there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that glorious notification bell, and do check in the description for giveaways, you know, that kind of jazz. I give away Arcanas for lots of different things, so do check it out. Thank you, and goodbye.